So our first example here is if alpha, beta, and gamma are the roots of the cubic equation 6x cubed plus 5x squared minus 4x minus 3 equals 0, find the value of the following. So for A, I have the sum of all the roots. So alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to negative b over A, which is going to be minus 5 over 6. Then I have for B, I have the product of the pair of roots, which is equal to C over A. So here C is minus 4 over 6, which simplifies to minus 2 over 3. Then here for C, I have the product of the roots, which is equal to minus D over A, which is equal to, now notice here D, there is already a negative, so it's going to be a double negative, so we get a positive 3 over 6, which is equal to 1/2. So that's our standard formula here. Now we're going to move on to the next part, which is D, which is a little bit trickier. So having a look at D, I have this fraction, and what I want to do is I want to manipulate it so that I can use something that involves A, B, or C in that solution. So here I'm going to move down here and rewrite the question. So I've got 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta plus 1 over gamma. So here what I'm going to do is, notice that I want to make a common denominator. So that means that for this fraction here, I need to multiply by beta and by gamma. So then here, what I have in my next line of working is I have beta gamma over alpha beta gamma plus, now I'm going to multiply this fraction by alpha and gamma because those are the two that are missing. So alpha gamma over alpha beta gamma. And lastly, I'm going to multiply by alpha and beta so I can put it all over alpha beta gamma. Now finally, what I can do is I can simplify this equation here. So notice that this first equation at the top or in the numerator looks exactly like one of the previous parts of our question. And notice that I can put everything over alpha, beta, gamma because I now have that as my common denominator. So recall here that this top line here is equal to C over A and our bottom line here is equal to negative D over A. So here what I have is C over A. If I go back to the top, that was minus 2 over 3. So I have minus 2 over 3 all over 1/2. And what I can do is I can put that straight into my calculator, and then what I will get is an answer of negative 4 over 3. My next example is going to be E, and what I have here is 1 over alpha beta plus 1 over beta gamma plus 1 over gamma and alpha. I'm going to do something similar. So I'm going to start by finding a common denominator. So if I look at this first fraction here, notice that the only root that it's missing is gamma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this fraction by gamma. So basically I'm multiplying by the missing root. I'm multiplying by alpha for this fraction here, and then I'm multiplying by, beta for this one here. So what I end up with is, on the top I have gamma plus alpha plus beta all over alpha, beta, gamma. And notice here for the numerator I have the sum of the roots, which is negative b over a, and for the denominator I have the product of the roots, which is minus d over a. So then what I end up with is that if I go back to the top, our sum of roots was negative 5 over 6. So I'm going to scroll back down. So here my numerator is negative 5 over 6 all over the product of the roots, which is 1 over 2. So here what I end up with is -5/3. Now lastly for f, I have alpha squared plus beta squared plus gamma squared. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to think about a perfect square. So ideally, if I had a perfect square, it would be alpha plus beta plus gamma all squared. And I'm going to expand this expression, collect any like terms, and see if I can rearrange it so that way I get an equation where this part here becomes the subject of my formula. And then I'll show you why we do it this way, as it'll become more apparent towards the end. So here I have alpha squared plus alpha beta plus alpha gamma. Then I have plus beta squared, plus alpha beta plus beta squared plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma plus beta gamma plus gamma squared. So here what I have is I'm going to put all the squared roots at the very start of my equation on the right hand side. And then notice that what I have left is I have 2 lots of alpha beta, I have 2 lots of alpha gamma, and then I also have 2 lots of beta gamma. So I can write that as 2 alpha beta plus 2 alpha gamma plus 2 beta gamma. So here what I'm going to do is I'm now going to factor out the 2, and notice that I end up with the pairs of roots, which is something that we've calculated before. And then now if I look at my left hand side, can you see that alpha plus beta plus gamma is actually the sum of the roots? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange this equation, and I'm going to make this the subject of the formula. So that means I need to move this to the other side of my equation. So now alpha squared plus beta squared plus gamma squared will be equal to all of alpha plus beta plus gamma squared minus 2 lots of the pairs of roots. So here my right hand side, so the sum of the pair of roots was -5/6, and that will be all squared, minus 2 times the pairs of roots, which is -2/3. And when I put that into my calculator, I end up with 73/36.